Hey guys, just trying to set up this other camera here, but it won't. It doesn't look like it's working. Anyway, I wanted to make a quick video with you guys, mainly parents and things like that. It's about a really great book. One of the things that we base a lot of the teachings and everything that we do here on is called The Whole Brain Child. And if you haven't read it, I think there may be a link in our group for parents. I encourage every parent to check it out, because different kids, they go through different stages as they're growing up. Their brain develops, and this is a really, really, really good book talking about all the different ages and all the different stages of development that children go through. One of the things is, and I wanted to kind of take just a minute here to share some of the tips that some of the things that I've learned from the book. I know, like right towards the very first chapter, it talks about like right brain and left brain. When children, you have your emotional side, and you have your logical side, and oftentimes younger children, they're just all emotions. They're just bundles and bundles and bundles of emotion. They usually call it the primitive part of the brain, the stem back here. And as the more logical part of their brain hasn't developed yet, it's growing, our job as educators and parents and things like that is to help them integrate those two parts. And one of the things I hear from parents a lot is children kind of overreacting or getting very emotional and getting upset. When they're having they're very involved in the right brain. They just get overwhelmed by it all. So what can we do? It's just like they're not listening. Hey, somebody's trying to call me. Hey, if you're calling me, you're watching this video, here it is right here. One of the things that you can do is, if your child's having a right brain response, you're just being overwhelmed with emotion. One of the things you can do is don't try to come out them with like a left brain or logical perspective. And what that means is if they're saying well, I'll give you an example. Like if a child is playing with their toys and they've been playing, or a video game, or doing something for 5 or 6 hours, like, all right, it's time to put those away. Well, no, we got to do this, do that. Then what's going to happen is they will, it only separates the logic from the emotion, which is the opposite of what we want to do. We want to kind of integrate them together. So the best thing to do is to calm them down first, get them calm first, and once they're calm, then talk to them with the left brain. Responding only with logically, like I said, responding logically to a right brain response to the emotions when they're just overwhelmed, having that emotional breakdown, is only going to separate, like I said, the right and left brain. And our goal is to put it together. We want to help them learn to balance. We want to help them learn to connect with their emotions and then understand the logic of what has to happen as well. So an example I started to give before, let me give you one now. So for instance, if a child is having problems, say they're playing a video game, this is a big one, and they've been playing this video game for like 5 hours, just crazy. It's a Saturday, they're playing it over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's time for them to stop. When you say, okay, it's time to get your room cleaned or do homework or whatever it is you need to do, or it's just time to stop playing the game. Because we know logically it's not good, it's not bad that children play video games, but it's bad if you do anything, for 12 hours at a time. Doesn't matter if you are outside playing for 12 hours or reading a book for 12 hours, or if you're doing anything even if it's good, it can become bad. So video games are not necessarily bad, but if you're playing them for 12 hours, then we got to stop. So let's say they've been playing this video game for 5 hours. It's time for them to move on to do the next thing. Once you say, all right, it's time to move on, they start to have this breakdown. They go through the emotion of it, and you say, listen, you've been doing it for 5 hours. It's time to stop. That's not going to work. The reason it doesn't work is because whenever you try to interject the left brain into a right brain response, it only separates the two, and it makes the situation worse and worse and worse. So what you have to do is you have to calm them down. Once they're calm, then introduce the left brain response. So for instance, they're upset, it's time to play this video game. right? Or they've been playing this video game for 5 hours. All right, it's time to put the video game away. And they're like, oh, but I want to keep playing. I want to keep playing. You have two choices here. Put that game away. You become more right-brained. No, you have to become more calm. Say, yes, I understand. Yeah, it's difficult. It's a very fun game. I know that you want to keep playing, but time is up. I tell you what, let's do. Let's see when's the next time we can play it. We can play it tomorrow, or we can play it in 2 days from now. We can play it later today. So you kind of connect, you calm them down, and then as they're doing that, you give them something to look forward to. And then from there, what you do is you say, we can't play the video game, for 5 or 6 hours. We just have other things to do. Or it's not good to play for 5 or 6 hours at a time. Won't it be fun when we play it 5 hours from now? Or an hour, or tomorrow we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Right now we have to do X, Y, and Z. So getting upset with them having a right brain response doesn't make it easier for them. It doesn't force them into doing it. The only thing it does is it causes them to separate their right and left, and it makes it harder and harder for you as a parent and as educators to get them to do the things that they need to do. So that was the first takeaway from that first chapter. If you haven't read the book, it's really, really good. It talks about it for different ages, 3, 4-year-olds, 5 and 6-year-olds, 7, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10 to teenagers, things like that, and all the different responses based on the brain growth that they have during these different ages. A child that's 3 is different than a child that's 6. It's just a completely different person. It's amazing. And you know it. If you have children, you see them growing through these different stages. Anyway, guys, check out the book. I think we have a link here in our parents group. Check it out. It's a fantastic book. It's really, really good, and it does help parents understand and connect with what's going on with their children. So anyway, guys, I'll see you in class this week. Thank you.